Hello, so my name is Siobhan Ferguson. Today is March 18, 2019. This is my video for the histology. So for tissues, there's 4 different types of tissues. There's epithelial tissues, connective tissues, muscle tissues, and nervous tissues. So the first tissue I'm going to talk about is epithelial tissues, which epithelial tissues, like our book says, refers to the sheets of cells that cover exterior surfaces of the body and lines internal cavities and passageways and form certain glands. So with epithelial tissues, there can be different shapes and there's a different number of cells. For the shapes, they can be squamous or squamous, however you say it. There can be cuboidal and there can be columnar. So squamous is like a flat, thin cell. Cuboidal is like a boxy shaped cell and it's kind of wide, and columnar is like a longer, like a tall, long, rectangular shaped cell. And for the number of cells, they can be simple, stratified, or pseudo-stratified. So simple is 1 layer of cells, stratified is multiple layers of cells, and pseudo-stratified, so pseudo means false, so it's, and stratified is multiple layers. So it looks like there's multiple layers, but there's only 1 layer and the cells are irregular shaped. So there can be simple squamous, simple columnar, simple cuboidal, stratified squamous, which are where there can be non-keratinized or keratinized. There can be stratified cuboidal or stratified columnar or pseudo-stratified columnar. The functions of the epithelial tissues are filtration, diffusion, secretion, and absorption, and protection. So it can be for like the stratified squamous ones, they protect from wear and tear, basically, of the body. So the next tissue is connective tissue, which binds the cells and organs of the body together and functions and protection, support, and integration of all the body parts. So connective tissues, there's a lot of connective tissues. There's bone, blood, lymph, there's cartilages, there's dense regular, dense irregular, there's areolar, adipose, reticular, elastic. There's an elastic connective tissue and an elastic cartilage connective tissue. So there's a ton of different connective tissues. They all have different functions, so they can be to protect, support, attach, connect things. Like the main function is, they're all located differently. They can be in the bone, blood vessels, under the skin, in lymph nodes, in your ear, all kinds of different places for connective tissues. So the next tissue is nervous tissue, which is excitable. It allows the propagation of electrochemical signals in the form of nerve impulses that communicate between different regions. So basically, they send and receive signals to provide information to the body. So for nervous tissue, there's not really much about nervous tissue. It's located in the brain, the spinal cord, and in the nerves. That's about it. There's neurons and the neuroganglia of the nervous tissue, but there's not too much about it. And the last tissue is muscle tissue, which is also excitable. It responds to stimulation and contracts to provide movement, and occurs, there's 3 different types of muscle tissue. There's skeletal muscle tissue, cardiac muscle tissue, and smooth muscle tissue. So skeletal muscle tissue is the only one that's voluntary. It's mononucleated, so which means there's multiple nuclei fibers, and it's striated. Its location, it can be found attached to bone or in the entrance of our body parts, so our mouth or anus, which are the only entrance points of our body. There's cardiac muscle, which is located, like its name, cardiac, so in the heart. It's mononucleated. So let me make sure I said that right. Skeletal muscle is multinucleated. Cardiac muscle is mononucleated, so which means one. It's involuntary, so it can't do things on its own. It just kind of does stuff. It's branched and striated. And then the last one is smooth muscle, which is mononucleated. It's non-striated, so the other two are striated. This one's non-striated, and it's involuntary also, so it can be found in the walls of major organs and passageways. But that's all four of them. That's it. Thank you.